Look closely at this. What you're seeing right now isn't a computer simulation. It's a living, breathing network of human brain cells firing in real time. And right now, inside pristine, temperature-controlled laboratories across the world, these microscopic clusters of living tissue are being used to power actual computers.
Have you ever wondered what comes after the microchip? We've spent the last 50 years desperately trying to teach metal and wire how to think like us.
But what if we've been looking at the problem entirely backwards? What if the most powerful computer processor on Earth isn't manufactured, but grown? Welcome to the mind-bending reality of Organoid Intelligence, a massive scientific breakthrough where computers are no longer built in factories, but grown in Petri dishes. Now, to understand why brilliant scientists are physically wiring living human tissue to computer chips, you first need to understand a massive, hidden problem we're facing today. We are running out of power. Training just one modern, large-scale artificial intelligence model consumes roughly the same amount of electricity as a small city. Silicon is incredibly power-hungry. It overheats quickly, requires massive cooling infrastructure, and is pushing our global energy grids to their absolute breaking point. But I want you to think about the human brain for a second. It is the most sophisticated, complex supercomputer in the known universe.
It handles millions of inputs, massive logic leaps, and memory storage, all while running on roughly 20 watts of power. That's barely enough energy to light a dim bulb. Biology is literally millions of times more efficient than our greatest, most expensive machines. So researchers asked a crazy, brilliant question. Why not just use biology? To do it, they take standard human skin cells and revert them into stem cells. They then coax those cells to become neurons and let them multiply in a nutrient bath. Left alone, they naturally self-organize into 3D structures. We call these structures mini-brains or cortical organoids. Now, to be absolutely clear, these aren't fully conscious people trapped in jars. But they do possess the exact biological machinery required to process information. The problem is, a mini-brain in a dish is completely isolated from the world. It has no eyes to see and no ears to hear. It needs a translator. So scientists developed something called a microelectrode array. Think of this array as a bridge. By placing the living tissue directly onto this golden grid, scientists can send electrical signals right into the cells. And amazingly, they can read the signals the cells send back. It is literally a biological plug-and-play system. But the real wow moment that shocked the scientific community happened when researchers decided to teach this living tissue how to play a video game. In a landmark experiment led by Cortical Labs, scientists fed the live, changing electrical data of a game of Pong directly into the living tissue.
When the brain cells correctly moved the paddle and hit the ball, the computer sent back a highly predictable, structured, and calming electrical pulse. But when the cells missed the ball, they were hit with chaotic, noisy, unpredictable static, a completely disorganized burst of digital electricity. Now, here is where it gets absolutely fascinating. According to a biological rule called the free energy principle, living systems naturally crave order and actively try to minimize chaos. The cells wanted the predictable signal. They hated the noisy static. So, to make the chaos stop, the organoid physically rewired its own brain. Within just 5 minutes, this completely disembodied clump of cells learned how to play Pong. 5 minutes. Think about that. A traditional AI algorithm needs hours and thousands of data points to learn a game. The biology just needed to adapt to its environment. That incredible efficiency changes everything. This isn't just a fun laboratory trick anymore. We have officially entered the era of commercial biocomputing. Startups have already built fully functional biocomputers, quietly running in secure labs. They've even created online platforms where you can rent them. Researchers around the world can literally log in from their laptops and run code on living biological processors located thousands of miles away. But solving digital equations on a screen is just the beginning. The real revolution happens when you give this biological tissue a physical body. Welcome to the cutting edge of embodied AI. Researchers are now taking these biological processors and plugging them directly into physical robotic systems. We are building robots that don't rely purely on pre-written code, but on the real-time, firing synapses of living tissue experiencing the physical world. Imagine a robotic arm equipped with pressure sensors. When it touches a wall, that physical pressure is translated into an electrical pulse. That pulse is sent directly into the living organoid. The brain tissue actually experiences the resistance of the wall. It physically feels the space around it. These biorobots are proving incredibly capable of navigating completely new, unpredictable environments because they adapt through raw biological instinct, not just math. They learn on the fly. They can reroute their own neural pathways if a sensor gets damaged. They compute the world exactly the way animals do. The staggering efficiency of this technology has caught the attention of everyone, from medical researchers simulating disease to the aerospace industry building smarter satellites. The potential is absolutely limitless. But of course, a technological leap this massive forces us to ask some incredibly profound, fascinating philosophical questions. Right now, these organoids are small, but what happens as we scale them up from hundreds of thousands of neurons to hundreds of millions? What happens when we network thousands of these biological computers together to solve our most complex climate models or discover new medicines? We know they aren't conscious right now, But consciousness isn't magic. It is an emergent property of highly complex networks. So where exactly is the line? At what specific point of complexity does a biological processor stop being just a clever tool and start having a subjective, felt experience of the world? If the tissue can react negatively to chaotic static and positively to structured signals, is it capable of feeling something analogous to pain or pleasure? Neuroscientists and ethicists are genuinely debating this right now, because unlike a silicon chip, which we can turn off without a second thought, wetware is biologically alive. It sounds like science fiction, I know, but we are crossing a monumental threshold where the line between an engineered machine and a living organism is blurring forever. And it forces us to look in the mirror. Humanity built the modern age by dominating physics, splitting the atom, and mastering the flow of electricity. But now, we are attempting to reverse engineer the very architecture of thought itself. We are harnessing the miracle of biology to power our future. Are we ready for the incredible responsibility that comes with creating synthetic biological systems? It is a frontier full of infinite promise and massive unknowns. Because the technology is not slowing down, every single day, these biological networks grow slightly larger, slightly faster, and slightly more complex. The era of complete silicon dominance is officially plateauing. The true future of computing is wet. It is beautifully complex, and it is undeniably biological. So the next time you marvel at the raw speed of a new AI model, take a moment to realize what incredible reality might be waiting just around the corner. The ultimate supercomputer doesn't require a massive cooling tower. It doesn't need a city's worth of power. In fact, it fits perfectly in the palm of your hand. The incredible minds we are building in the lab are getting smarter every day. The boundaries of life and technology have vanished. And the awe-inspiring era of organoid intelligence has officially begun. Welcome to the future of the mind. We aren't just observing the evolution of intelligence. We are actively bridging the gap between what is alive and what is built. I'm Dr. G, and this is AI A Bridge, where the future of biology and technology finally meets. Don't just watch the future unfold. Help us define it. Subscribe, and let's cross that bridge together.